Hey everybody, my name is Shawnee, and I want to talk to you about something called medical tourism. I know a lot of people, including myself, who have taken part in medical tourism, but I had never known that it actually had a name and that it was as big as it really is. This is where people will travel to other places other than their own community to receive medical care or services ranging from plastic surgeries to heart surgeries, dental work, eye, eye work, basically any medical care. I watched the video about the Texas being a huge spot for this because of their outstanding medical centers and their wonderful doctors and surgeons. People will actually come from all over the world to get surgeries and treatments there. And not only does it have the best medical professionals, but it's also a lot cheaper than a lot of many other places with many other resources to go along with it. One of these resources that I find huge is the apartments that can be rented right near the hospitals for the patients and their families, which I feel would be a huge relief to these people. Renting or staying at a hotel could cost hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars. So these apartments are more like home and would be much more comfortable for these long stays where they have to have these treatments for days or maybe weeks at a time. This actually brings millions and millions of dollars to Texas each year. And outside of Texas, I found examples such as Canada, where in Canada, the healthcare is quite expensive, and because of limited resources and limited doctors, there often is a long wait before people can be seen or have their surgeries. So, for example, a person who needs heart surgery may have to wait weeks and months to have their surgery within Canada, whereas if they flew to India for their surgery, they could get in faster and it would be cheaper. And India actually has some really good hospitals, and they do stuff well for less money. So for a lot of Canadians, it's worth the travel there to save valuable time and money. There are a lot of interesting information about all of this on the National Institute of Health.org, which I recommend taking a look at. And about safety, they also talk about how studies show that going abroad can actually be just as safe and even sometimes safer if you do your research and pick the best hospital, maybe not the cheapest, but the best, with very experienced doctors and reviews. Obviously, I feel like these people do their research before they make these big decisions. But like everything, there are risks involved, like what happens if you get sick after surgery or you need follow-up care when you get home. This can cause a lot of issues. But in nursing school, we learned that sometimes we have to weigh out the risk versus benefit in regarding to health. So I'd like to share a personal story on a way smaller scale of how I contributed to medical tourism. About 13 years ago, I went into preterm labor with my twins, And the doctors here in Yankton, where I live, didn't feel comfortable caring for me or my babies. So they quickly airlifted me to Sioux Falls McKinnon Hospital, where I spent about 6 weeks on bed rest and between bed rest and having the babies in the NICU. But not only did I receive the medical care in Sioux Falls, but my husband and my children would visit me often. So they were going to stores, doing shopping, going to restaurants, buying gas in a different community. So I think a lot of us do this without even realizing that we're doing it. We're just trying to do what's best for us and our family. So medical tourism is much bigger than I had ever realized, and it's changing how people get healthcare all over the world. And I found this assignment really interesting, and I hope you did too.